Chapter ON of the wealth lie you were raised to believe. Most broke young people are not poor because they lack money. They are poor because they inherited a dangerous belief system. From childhood you were taught, study hard, get good grades, find a stable job, work for 40 years, retire peacefully. No one taught you how money actually moves. No one taught you how wealth is created. No one taught you how to build assets from nothing. And here is the painful truth. The system was designed to produce workers, not wealth builders. That realization might make you uncomfortable. Good. Growth begins where comfort ends. Subhook: if hard work alone made people rich, construction workers would be millionaires. Hard work is honorable. But hard work without financial intelligence creates exhaustion, not freedom. There are people working 12 hours a day who remain broke. There are people working 4 focused hours who build scalable income. The difference is leverage. Wealth is not built by effort alone. It is built by systems that multiply effort. If you are starting from zero, understand this immediately. You do not need money first. You need understanding first. Because money in the hands of the untrained disappears. Money in the hands of the disciplined multiplies. The first blueprint principle: income is built, not found. Stop waiting for opportunity to arrive. Opportunity is manufactured. When you start from nothing, your first mission is simple. Increase your ability to earn. Not someday. You may not have capital, but you have time, energy, internet access, adaptability. That is enough. The broke youth wastes time scrolling. The focused youth studies skills. The broke youth consumes entertainment. The focused youth consumes knowledge that increases income. Which one are you becoming daily? Subhook: your phone is either your escape or your asset. Right now, the same device used for distraction can become your income tool. Free courses, digital skills, freelance platforms, business education. The gap between broke and building is not access. It is discipline. The wealthy protect their attention. The poor surrender it cheaply. Every hour misused is compound poverty. Every hour invested is compound advantage. Choose carefully. The second blueprint principle: stability before expansion. Many young people want fast money. But fast money without stability creates fast collapse. Before you dream of cars and luxury, build emergency security. Remove destructive debt. Track your spending. Control your lifestyle. If you cannot manage $10 wisely, $1,000 will not change you. Wealth respects structure. Subhook: the silent power of living below your potential. Living below your income feels uncomfortable. Friends may mock your simplicity. They may spend freely while you save intentionally. But understand this: short-term sacrifice creates long-term leverage. The goal is not to look rich. The goal is to become stable. And stability gives you something priceless: options. When you have options, you negotiate better. You decide better. You live better. The third blueprint principle: skills over salaries. A salary can be taken away. A skill cannot. If you are starting from zero, focus on skills that solve real problems, can be delivered online, can be improved over time, can scale. Examples include digital marketing, graphic design, video editing, coding, sales, copywriting, content creation. You do not need to master everything. You need to master one thing deeply. Depth creates value. Value creates income. Income creates investment power. Subhook: you are not behind. You are untrained. Many youth compare themselves to others who seem ahead. Stop comparing. Instead ask, what do they know that I do not? What skill do they possess that I can learn? What habits support their progress? Wealth is rarely luck alone. It is structured behavior repeated over time. And behavior can be trained. The fourth blueprint principle: reinvest aggressively. When your income increases, resist lifestyle inflation. The biggest trap for youth who rise slightly is celebrating too early. Instead of upgrading comfort, upgrade capacity. Buy tools that improve your productivity. Pay for education that improves your thinking. Invest in assets that generate income. Reinvestment turns income into growth. Spending turns income into memory. Which future do you prefer? Subhook: freedom is built quietly. You may not see immediate dramatic change. Progress may feel slow. Growth may feel invisible. But understand compound effect. Small improvements daily create unstoppable results over years. One new skill. One disciplined saving habit. One smart investment. Repeated consistently. That is how nothing becomes something. Final activation thought. Starting from zero is not a curse. It is clarity. You have nothing to protect. Nothing to maintain. Nothing to pretend. That means you can build intentionally. The blueprint they never taught you is simple but powerful. Increase income potential. Control lifestyle. Build skills. Reinvest wisely. Think long-term. If you commit to these principles, your beginning will not define your ending. Now ask yourself, are you willing to build patiently what others only wish for instantly? Because wealth from nothing is not magic. It is discipline practiced longer than excuses can survive. Chapter 2. The Discipline Advantage. Why most youth stay broke. Starting from zero is not the problem. Staying undisciplined is. There are millions of young people with access to the same internet, the same tools, the same opportunities, yet only a few build momentum. Why? Because information is everywhere. But discipline is rare. And discipline is the real currency of wealth. You may think money is power. But money without control disappears. The truth is simple. Before you build wealth outside, you must build control inside. Subhook: motivation fades. Structure remains. You will not feel inspired every day. There will be days you feel tired. Days you feel behind. Days you question whether this effort is worth it. If you rely on motivation, you will stop. But if you rely on structure, you will continue. Structure means fixed work hours for skill development, a daily learning routine, a spending limit you respect, a savings rule you never break. When structure replaces emotion, progress becomes automatic. Ask yourself honestly, do you have a system or just intentions? The Discipline Blueprint. Control your inputs first. Most broke youth focus on results. Disciplined youth focus on inputs. Inputs include what you read, what you watch, who you listen to, where your time goes. If your daily input is gossip, entertainment, and comparison, your output will be distraction and frustration. If your daily input is skill building, financial education, and focused practice, your output becomes value and income. Your environment programs your behavior. Control it deliberately. Subhook: your circle either elevates you or anchors you. Pay attention to the people closest to you. Do they talk about ideas or about people? Do they discuss growth or complain about circumstances? Do they encourage discipline or mock it? You cannot build a strong financial future while surrounded by a weak mindset. This does not mean you abandon everyone. It means you guard your ambition carefully. Sometimes you must grow quietly until your results speak. The financial control rule: respect small amounts. One of the biggest mistakes youth make is ignoring small money. It's just a little. It doesn't matter. I'll fix it when I earn more. But habits do not change with income. They magnify. If you waste small money carelessly, you will waste large money recklessly. Begin now. Track every expense. Set a weekly budget. Save a fixed percentage, even if it feels small. Wealth does not start with large deposits. It starts with consistent habits. Subhook: comfort is expensive. Comfort today often costs freedom tomorrow. Eating out daily. Upgrading phones unnecessarily. Buying clothes to impress. Spending to fit in. Each small decision seems harmless, but combined, they delay independence. Ask yourself this powerful question: do I want temporary approval or permanent freedom? The disciplined youth delays pleasure strategically. Not forever, but long enough to build leverage. The energy principle: guard your focus. Focus is a competitive advantage. Most people are distracted. Notifications, social media, endless scrolling. Attention is being sold, and you are the buyer. If you cannot sit for one focused hour building a skill, you cannot build wealth. Train your focus like a muscle. Start small. 1 hour daily without interruption. No phone. No distractions. That single habit can separate you from the majority. Subhook: the 1-year transformation rule. Most youth underestimate what one disciplined year can do. 1 year of skill development, saving aggressively, reducing waste, building small income streams, can completely reposition your future. But most people quit after 3 weeks. Why? Because progress is invisible in the beginning. Remember this. Growth feels slow until it feels unstoppable. Stay long enough. Emotional discipline. Stay calm when others rush. There will be trends. Hype investments. Friends showing sudden money. Do not chase blindly. When you are starting from nothing, survival and learning matter more than speculation. Build stable income first. Build emergency protection second. Explore risk carefully after that. Wealth building is not a race. It is a long-term strategy. The patient often outperform the impulsive. Subhook: identity shift. You must stop seeing yourself as broke. Instead, see yourself as building. Your identity influences your actions. If you say, "I'm just unlucky," you act powerless. If you say, "I am disciplined and improving," you act intentionally. Speak carefully about yourself. Your mind listens. The compounding effect of discipline. Here is something powerful. Discipline compounds just like money. 1 day of focus builds confidence. Confidence builds consistency. Consistency builds skill. Skill builds income. Income builds investment power. Investment builds freedom. It begins small, but it grows. If you ignore discipline, time works against you. If you master discipline, time works for you. And time is the greatest multiplier available to youth. Final activation thought. You do not need a miracle. You need mastery over yourself. Wake up earlier if necessary. Reduce distractions. Spend intentionally. Learn daily. Execute consistently. Starting from zero is manageable. Starting without discipline is dangerous. So ask yourself tonight, am I serious about building wealth, or do I just like the idea of it? Because the disciplined youth may start with nothing, but they rarely stay there. Chapter 3. Skills that print money, turning knowledge into income. If you are starting from zero, understand this clearly. Your first form of capital is competence. Money follows value. Value follows skill. Skill follows focused repetition. Most young people wait to feel ready before they start offering services or building income streams. That delay is expensive. You do not become confident before action. You become confident because of action. The marketplace does not reward degrees alone. It rewards solutions. So the real question is not, what job can I get? It is, what problem can I solve? Subhook: problems are hidden paychecks. Look around you carefully. Businesses struggle with visibility. People struggle with time. Companies struggle with sales. Content creators struggle with editing. Entrepreneurs struggle with organization. Every struggle in the market is a silent paycheck waiting for someone skilled enough to solve it. When you train yourself to see problems as opportunities, your financial vision sharpens. Instead of complaining about what is missing, you start building what is needed. The skill selection strategy. Not all skills are equal when you are starting from nothing. Choose skills that can be learned online for free or cheaply, are in consistent demand, can be sold digitally, can improve over time. Examples include copywriting, graphic design, video editing, social media management, sales, website development, AI tool integration. You do not need 10 skills. You need one skill mastered deeply. Shallow knowledge creates average income. Deep mastery creates premium income. Subhook: depth beats hype. Many youth chase trends. Today it is crypto. Tomorrow it is dropshipping. Next week it is something else. But trends without skill are unstable. Focus instead on building expertise that remains valuable even when trends change. If you master persuasion, you can sell anything. If you master design, you can serve any industry. If you master coding, you can build solutions endlessly. Skills are portable wealth. The learning execution model. Learning without execution is entertainment. To convert knowledge into income, follow this simple structure. Learn one concept. Practice it immediately. Offer it at a beginner level. Improve through feedback. You will not be perfect at the beginning. That is normal. Perfection is not required. Progress is. Charge small at first if necessary. But charge. Free work teaches little about value. Paid work teaches responsibility, speed, and quality. Subhook: your first dollar changes your identity. The moment you earn from a skill, something powerful happens internally. You no longer see yourself as broke. You see yourself as capable. That identity shift fuels ambition. Do not underestimate the psychological power of your first small income generated by skill. It is proof. And proof builds belief. The portfolio principle. In the beginning, your goal is not luxury. It is credibility. Document your work. Build simple samples. Create proof of competence. Even if you practice on imaginary projects, present them professionally. Serious presentation attracts serious opportunity. Your brand matters, even as a beginner. Speak clearly. Deliver on time. Communicate respectfully. Professionalism is free, yet rare. Subhook: speed is an advantage. When starting from zero, you cannot compete with experience. But you can compete with effort and speed. Respond quickly. Revise willingly. Be available when others delay. Many clients choose reliability over brilliance. Become reliable. Consistency builds reputation. Reputation builds referrals. Referrals build income stability. Income expansion strategy. Once you master one skill, expand strategically. For example, if you design graphics, offer social media management. If you write content, offer email marketing. If you edit videos, offer content strategy. Expansion should connect logically to your core skill. Do not expand randomly. Expand intelligently. Each additional service increases earning capacity without starting from zero again. Subhook: reinvest in skill upgrades. The biggest mistake youth make after earning is comfort. Instead of upgrading lifestyle, upgrade competence. Buy better tools. Take advanced courses. Study market trends. Every skill has levels. If you stop at basic, you remain replaceable. If you climb to advanced, you become valuable. High value equals high income. The leverage shift. Eventually, your time becomes limited. At this stage, shift from trading time only to building leverage. Examples: create digital products, teach beginners, build small teams, automate repetitive processes. Leverage multiplies effort. If 1 hour of your time produces income repeatedly, you have moved beyond survival. That is the transition from worker to wealth builder. Subhook: you are competing with laziness, not genius. Do not fear competition excessively. Most people are inconsistent. Most people quit early. Most people avoid discomfort. If you stay consistent for 1 year, you automatically move ahead of the majority. Success is less about intelligence and more about endurance. Final activation thought. Your background does not define your financial future. Your skill level does. Stop waiting for capital. Build competence. Stop waiting for opportunity. Solve problems. Stop doubting your start. Respect your progress. Wealth from nothing begins when knowledge becomes income. And income, when handled wisely, becomes investment power. Ask yourself tonight, what skill will I commit to mastering for the next 12 months? Choose one. Go deep. Execute daily. Because once you can create value on demand, you are no longer starting from nothing. You are building from strength. Chapter 4. Money Management. The silent engine behind every fortune. Making money is exciting. Keeping and multiplying it is transformational. Many young people believe income is the breakthrough. It is not. Control is the breakthrough. There are individuals who earn well and remain trapped. There are individuals who earn moderately and steadily rise. The difference is not luck. It is structure. If you are building wealth from nothing, money management is not optional. It is survival. Subhook: income without control is a leak. Imagine pouring water into a bucket filled with holes. That is what high income without financial discipline looks like. New phone. Frequent outings. Unplanned spending. Subscriptions you barely use. Small leaks combined create emptiness. Before dreaming of investment, patch the holes. Track every expense for 30 days. Not approximately. Exactly. Numbers reveal habits. Habits reveal truth. The wealth allocation formula. When money comes in, it must be assigned immediately. Every income should have a mission. A portion for survival expenses. A portion for savings. A portion for reinvestment. A small portion for enjoyment. Even if the percentages are small in the beginning, the structure matters. Structure trains your brain to think long-term. Without structure, income disappears emotionally. With structure, income moves strategically. Subhook: the emergency fund is psychological power. An emergency fund is not just financial protection. It is mental freedom. When you have savings covering several months of basic expenses, fear decreases. You negotiate better. You choose better opportunities. You avoid desperation decisions. Starting from zero, aim first for 1 month of survival saved. Then build toward 3. Then 6. This is not glamorous, but it is powerful. Debt. understand the difference. Not all debt is equal. Destructive debt funds lifestyle. Strategic debt funds assets. If you borrow for consumption, you delay freedom. If you borrow to invest in something that produces income, you increase leverage. But early in your journey, be cautious. When starting from nothing, stability matters more than speed. Remove high-interest debt first. Then build savings. Then invest wisely. Patience protects progress. Subhook: lifestyle inflation is a silent trap. When income increases, lifestyle often rises immediately. Better apartment. More expensive habits. Frequent upgrades. There is nothing wrong with enjoying progress. But premature upgrades destroy momentum. Instead of upgrading lifestyle with every income increase, upgrade net worth. Increase investments. Increase savings rate. Increase asset ownership. Delay excessive comfort until income becomes consistent and scalable. Freedom first. Luxury later. The investment mindset shift. Saving alone is not wealth. Investing builds wealth. Money sitting idle slowly loses value. Money invested intelligently multiplies. As a young wealth builder, learn basic investment principles. Diversification. Long-term growth. Risk management. Compound interest. You do not need to understand everything immediately. Start small. Learn gradually. Avoid rushing into hype opportunities. Time in the market usually beats timing the market. Subhook: compound growth is quiet at first. Compound growth feels invisible in the early stages. Small returns. Slow growth. Minimal excitement. But over time, growth accelerates. The same applies to habits. Consistent investing, even in small amounts, builds momentum. 5 years of discipline can outperform 1 year of reckless risk. The wealthy respect time. The impatient fight it. Asset building strategy. Assets generate income or increase in value. Examples include investments in businesses, stocks or funds, real estate, digital products, skill-based services. Your mission is to gradually shift from relying only on earned income to owning income-producing assets. Earn, save, invest, repeat. That cycle builds strength. Subhook: net worth matters more than appearances. Many people appear wealthy but are financially fragile. Expensive lifestyle. Minimal savings. High obligations. Do not chase appearances. Track your net worth, what you own minus what you owe. Watching that number grow, even slowly, builds confidence. True wealth is quiet stability. Risk management rule. Protect what you build. Have basic insurance if possible. Avoid unnecessary financial exposure. Read before signing agreements. One careless decision can undo years of discipline. Wealth building is not about reckless courage. It is about calculated moves. The financial growth cycle. Your path will follow stages. Survival, covering basic needs. Stability, building emergency reserves. Growth, investing consistently. Expansion, increasing asset ownership. Freedom, income exceeds living expenses. Each stage requires patience. Do not rush to stage 5 while ignoring stage 2. Solid foundations prevent collapse. Subhook: respect money and it respects you. Money is neutral. It amplifies character. If you are careless, it exposes it. If you are disciplined, it multiplies it. Treat every dollar as a worker assigned to build your future. When you spend impulsively, you fire that worker. When you invest wisely, you hire another. Build a financial workforce. Final activation thought. Making money is skill. Keeping money is wisdom. Growing money is strategy. Starting from nothing does not mean staying empty. It means building carefully. Track, save, reinvest, protect, repeat. If you commit to disciplined money management, your income becomes a tool, not a temporary thrill. Ask yourself, if more money entered my life today, would I control it, or would it control me? Answer honestly, because wealth is not about how much you make. It is about how well you manage what you make. Chapter 5. The Long Game. Building Wealth That Outlives Excitement. Most people want fast success. Very few are willing to play long-term. If you are starting from zero, understand this clearly. Speed is impressive. Longevity is powerful. Anyone can be disciplined for a week. Some can stay focused for a month. But those who build real wealth think in years. And this is where the blueprint separates the serious from the curious. Subhook: short-term pleasure versus long-term position. Every day you face invisible choices. Spend or invest. Scroll or study. Complain or improve. React or plan. These small decisions feel insignificant. But stacked over years, they define your position. If you consistently choose short-term pleasure, you remain financially fragile. If you consistently choose long-term positioning, you gain leverage. Leverage changes everything. The power of delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is not about suffering forever. It is about prioritizing future strength over present comfort. When you delay unnecessary spending, you buy freedom. When you delay distractions, you build skills. When you delay ego-driven decisions, you build stability. You are not denying yourself joy. You are protecting your potential. And protection creates power. Subhook: think in decades, act daily. Wealth builders think in decades. Where will I be in 10 years if I remain consistent? What will my skills look like after 5 years of refinement? What will my investments become after years of compound growth? But thinking long-term is useless without daily execution. Dream long-term. Work short-term. That combination creates unstoppable momentum. The reputation factor. Money flows toward trust. In business, employment, partnerships, and investments, trust is currency. Protect your reputation carefully. Be reliable. Deliver on promises. Communicate honestly. Admit mistakes quickly. A strong reputation multiplies opportunity without advertising. When people trust you, doors open quietly. Subhook: quiet growth is powerful growth. Do not be discouraged if your journey is not dramatic. Real wealth rarely explodes overnight. It grows quietly. You might not see applause. You might not receive public recognition. You might feel invisible. But internal growth matters more than external validation. Skills improving. Savings increasing. Investments compounding. Silence does not mean stagnation. Stay focused. Diversification of income. Relying on one source of income creates vulnerability. As you grow, begin building additional streams carefully. This could include expanding your service offerings, investing in dividend-producing assets, building digital products, exploring partnerships. Do not chase everything at once. Stability first. Expansion second. Multiple income streams create resilience. Resilience protects progress. Subhook: adaptability is survival. Markets change. Technology evolves. Industries shift. If you remain rigid, you fall behind. Stay curious. Continue learning. Upgrade your skills. The most dangerous mindset is believing you have learned enough. Growth is permanent. When you adapt faster than change, you remain valuable. Emotional stability in the long game. There will be slow seasons. There will be mistakes. There will be setbacks. Do not interpret every challenge as failure. Setbacks are feedback. When an investment declines, learn. When a project fails, analyze. When a strategy slows, refine. Panic destroys progress. Calm analysis strengthens it. Stay steady. Subhook: your future self is watching. Every decision you make today either strengthens or weakens your future position. Imagine yourself 10 years ahead. Financially stable. Confident. Skilled. Free to choose. That version of you depends on the discipline you practice now. You are building a life your future self will either thank you for or regret. Choose wisely. Ownership over consumption. Consumers exchange money for experience. Owners exchange strategy for income. Shift gradually from consuming to owning. Instead of only buying products, invest in companies. Instead of only watching content, create it. Instead of only working in systems, build systems. Ownership creates leverage. Leverage builds wealth faster than labor alone. Subhook: the patience multiplier. The longer you stay disciplined, the fewer competitors remain. Most people quit early. Most people abandon structure. Most people chase shortcuts. If you simply stay consistent for years, you automatically rise. Time eliminates the impatient. Let time work in your favor. The legacy mindset. Eventually, wealth is no longer just about survival. It becomes about impact. Helping family. Supporting causes. Creating opportunities for others. When your vision expands beyond yourself, your motivation strengthens. You are not just building income. You are building influence. And influence, used wisely, multiplies value. Final activation thought. Wealth from nothing is not a moment. It is a process. It begins with discipline, grows through skill, strengthens through management, expands through patience. If you commit to the long game, you will outlast doubt, outgrow limitations, outperform distractions. Ask yourself tonight, am I building for applause or for permanence? Because permanence is power, and power, built slowly, cannot be easily taken. Chapter 6. Becoming the Asset, the final shift from survival to significance. At the beginning, you were trying to escape survival. You wanted stability. You wanted income. You wanted breathing room. But the final stage of wealth building is different. It is no longer about proving you can survive. It is about transforming yourself into an asset that cannot be ignored. Because here is the truth they never taught you. The ultimate form of wealth is becoming valuable at scale. Subhook: income is temporary. Identity is permanent. In the early stages, you focused on earning. Now you must focus on becoming. Who are you when money increases? Are you disciplined or distracted? Strategic or impulsive? Focused or easily influenced? If your identity is unstable, your wealth will be unstable. But if you become a person of structure, patience, and growth, money becomes a reflection, not the foundation. Build the identity that can handle expansion. From worker to builder. At first, you traded time for income. Then you built skills. Then you invested wisely. Now comes the higher level shift. You stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like a builder. Builders ask different questions. How can this grow beyond me? How can I create systems? How can I multiply effort without multiplying hours? This is where scale begins. And scale changes everything. Subhook: you must outgrow your old environment mentally. Even if you remain in the same physical environment, your thinking must evolve. If you still seek validation from people who do not understand your vision, you will shrink your ambition. If you still measure success by appearances, you will sabotage your depth. Growth requires internal separation from limiting beliefs. You do not need to announce it, but you must decide it. Leadership as a wealth multiplier. True wealth builders eventually lead. Leadership does not mean titles. It means responsibility. Helping others learn what you learned. Sharing knowledge honestly. Creating opportunities where possible. When you uplift others, your influence expands. Influence builds networks. Networks build opportunity. And opportunity builds exponential growth. Subhook: teach what you know. One of the most powerful ways to strengthen mastery is to teach. You do not need to know everything. You only need to be ahead of someone. Teaching deepens your understanding, strengthens your communication, expands your visibility, builds trust, and trust, repeated consistently, becomes authority. Authority attracts opportunity. Building systems, not stress. If your income stops when you stop working, you are still in the early stage. The goal is not endless busyness. It is strategic structure. Automate processes. Delegate tasks when possible. Create repeatable frameworks. Systems reduce stress. Stress reduction improves clarity. Clarity improves decision-making. Wealth grows best in calm minds. Subhook: guard your integrity. As opportunities increase, so do temptations. Shortcuts. Questionable deals. Fast gains with hidden costs. Remember this. Reputation takes years to build and minutes to destroy. Guard your integrity fiercely. Money gained without honor creates instability. But wealth built with integrity becomes sustainable. The impact multiplier. At this stage, money becomes a tool for impact. You can support family strategically. Invest in meaningful projects. Mentor younger builders. Strengthen your community. Impact deepens purpose. And purpose strengthens discipline. When your mission expands beyond personal comfort, your resilience multiplies. Subhook: the freedom test. True wealth is measured by freedom. Freedom of time. Freedom of choice. Freedom of movement. Freedom of association. Ask yourself honestly, if you stopped working today, how long could you sustain your lifestyle? Are you choosing your work or trapped by it? Financial freedom is not luxury. It is independence from pressure. Build until pressure no longer dictates your decisions. The continuous evolution rule. There is no final destination. Markets evolve. Technology evolves. You must evolve. Keep learning. Keep refining. Keep adapting. Complacency is the quiet enemy of sustained wealth. Growth must remain permanent. Subhook: remember where you started. Never forget your beginning. Starting from nothing gave you hunger, humility, awareness, resilience. These qualities are advantages. Many who inherit wealth lack these strengths. Your journey built them. Protect them. The blueprint completed. From nothing, you learned. Discipline over distraction. Skills over excuses. Control over chaos. Patience over impulse. Systems over stress. Impact over ego. That is the blueprint they never taught you. Not because it was hidden in a secret vault, but because it requires responsibility. And responsibility cannot be forced. It must be chosen. Final activation thought. You began this journey seeking wealth. But the deeper reward is transformation. You are no longer just someone trying to escape poverty. You are someone building structure, building systems, building stability, building impact. Starting from zero was never your weakness. It was your training ground. Now ask yourself one final question. Will you protect the habits that built you, or abandon them once progress appears? Because wealth is not maintained by desire. It is maintained by identity. And if you choose to remain disciplined, adaptable, and intentional, then nothing will not be your story anymore. It will be your origin. The blueprint is now complete. The execution is yours.